Hi families and friends, I'm Erin Palmer, School Occupational Therapist. How are you today? I'm thinking of you. I want to say hi to my friends. Hi friends. Hi. Hello. Can you say hi, Miss Erin? Hi, Miss Erin. Hi. Nice job. I'm really excited to share with you a fun, it's a sensory and fine motor activity. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of bubble painting. We also are going to be making a flower from some of the paper that we bubble painted on. And so the activity is really kind of two parts. So feel free to do one or both parts. If you do both parts, you can actually break it up and do it on separate days or at separate times. So it's really up to you. Take from it what works for you and your family, and I hope that you can enjoy it. So we'll get started. So I kind of want to show you, I think it will be helpful I show you this first. So this paper has been bubble painted on, and that is the first part of our activity. We're going to do some bubble painting. And I did look online because there are several different ways that you can do this. I tried to pick the way that I found easiest at home, and I thought might be the easiest and one of the safer ways for you to do this at home. But of course, feel free to explore other options. And so for this activity, a few things we're gonna want be some paper. And if you have paper that's just a little bit like white construction paper, it's kind of nice because it's a little bit thicker than like printer paper. But as always, you can use any color, any type of paper you have is fine. Whatever you've got will work. And then for this, we also are going to be using bubbles, liquid bubbles. You can use dish soap as an alternative, and some food dye. Online and some places use paint to mix into the bubbles. I tried that. I had a little bit more success with the food dye. And then you'll want some cups. Now, at home, you may want some plastic or even disposable cups, whatever you have on hand is fine. I'm using glass just so that you can see what I'm doing a little bit easier today. And then I did want to mention that this is a messier activity, and because it involves food coloring or food dye, it does have the potential to get on surfaces or clothing, and so you want to be careful. You could even try it outside. I think it'd be a really fun activity for outside. And you may also want to protect you and your child's clothing by using a smock, or my favorite smocks are actually just some big old t-shirts, right? So, okay, so let's get started. So we're going to start with just some blank paper here. And I'm gonna get some bubbles. So I found it a little bit easier to bubble paint with bubble solution, and it could be any bubble solution. These were just some that I had at home. And so I can just show you, we're just gonna open that up. And if you want to incorporate your child into this, which it would be, great, one hand to hold, one hand to help open. Good. And we're going to pour in. So we don't need to use a whole lot. We're just going to put a little bit into the bottom of our glass. There we go. And for this activity, you really only need one color. You don't have to use multiple colors, so that's, up to you what you would like to do. All right, so I have my bubble solution in the bottom, and now I'm going to choose a color to make it. So here I've already got, what color is this? Can you see? Is that blue? You're right, that's blue. Good job. And I also already have green. Very good, green. And this one here, what color is that? I see orange. Orange. Nice job, friends. Well, let's see if we can make ours red. That's what we're gonna go for in here. You can use liquid food coloring, that kind of this type of bottle here. It's like this. If you want a deeper color, you can also use the gel food dye, which looks like this. So I'm going to use the gel today. This is definitely a step where grown-up help, I think, is great. And I'm going to put in just a couple drops. 1, 2, 3. There we go, 3 drops. Because we know that food coloring can come out kind of fast, right, and get away from us. And then we can mix it up. So here we hold with one hand, hold our wand. You do want to use a bubble wand from your bubble jar and stir it up. Stir it up, mix it. Mix it up. Oh, good job. Can you see some bubbles in there? Yeah, I can. I see some bubbles. Good. Now, if you wanted to make multiple colors, you could go on to have different cups or bowls filled with different color solution. Or if you just want to stick with one and try that out, that's fine too. If you were using dish soap instead of bubble solution, you would add a couple tablespoons of dish soap and a little bit of water, right? And I found that this makes a pretty good bubble solution too. So it's kind of up to you. You might have to play with your ratio of how much dish soap and how much water, kind of depending on what brand of dish soap you're using. So, all right, but I'm gonna stick with this one. So now we're gonna practice. So you might wanna put this in a container that your child finds a little bit easier to hold. I'm just using the glass again so you can kind of see. So, all right, so we try and use 2 hands and we're gonna blow our bubbles onto our paper. Nice! I know that might be hard to see. It's kind of faint. It's light in color. And you do get some drips along the way, and that's okay. And it does splatter a little bit, so you just want to know these things ahead of time. And sometimes when I'm blowing the bubbles burst back onto my face. And so know that too, that you might get a little food coloring on you. And this is such a great activity because we are trying to use our mouths, which I know speech always really likes us to do. We're trying to blow. We are focusing our eyes on the wand and what's happening. And we're also using usually our fingers and our thumb to kind of hold that wand. If your child needs some help holding the bubble wand, that's fine. Or if you need to hold it for them so that they can focus on blowing the bubbles, that's fine too. Whatever works for you guys at home. So I'm just going to do a little bit more. And sometimes the bubbles will go right on the page and I like to burst them. Or kind of blow one in. So this is how my paper is starting to look, which is fine. Because I have other colors, I'm going to go ahead and mix them up a little bit so you can see what that looks like. So I'm actually going to take some of my water, put it in this bowl, unexpected friend. Do you want to help me? All right, come on. Can you say hello?
Hello.
This is Grayson, my son. All right, so I'm rinsing off the wand, and now we're gonna blow some more bubbles. How about blue? Sound good? Okay, try to blow it onto the paper. Good. A little bit more. Oh, thank you. Nice job. So now we have some red and some blue. We're gonna rinse it off. What color is this?
Green.
Green? Okay, let's do some green. Good. A little bit more. Good job. And if you have a bubble on the page, you can always burst it with your finger. Good. Okay. Yep, go ahead.
Can I mix it up after we're done?
Okay, thank you. All right, so that is how we do, go ahead, our bubble painting on our bubble painting paper. Nice job. Thank you, friends. Now, our bubble painting part is finished, but we are still gonna make a flower, okay? So I'm gonna put this to the side. If you do want to use this paper to make a flower, you can. I would just give it some time to dry, maybe even just an hour or so, or you can let it dry overnight, especially if it's really wet. Are you going to join me for the flower? So this is the dried bubble painting paper, and first we're going to try to fold it in half, okay? Can you help me? All right, go ahead, we're gonna fold it in half. Good. Now can you push it down? Yeah, push it down all the way. Folding a paper in half is one skill that we do work on, and it's a great one for also pressing down, using our hands to kind of press down. Good. So now we have it in half, and as the grown-up, I'm gonna help draw the flower, and we actually are only having to draw half of the flower. So first, I'll draw it. You can see it's kind of half of a flower. Now, can you help me? Can you trace over that for me? We're gonna use, this is optional, but of course, you know, it's always great tracing practice. If you have a crayon, we're gonna make it a little smaller. I'm gonna break the end. And we'll try to use pinching fingers. Good, start at the top. Trace down. Good, start at the top. Down and up. Nice. So we traced over our half flower. Now we can cut it out. Today, we're gonna use, waiting please, thank you. We're gonna use our loop scissors, and I'll just show you. These are the ones that have the big handle that I think were part of your packet. And we're gonna try to help our child hold their hand, I'll show you with my left hand, so that the thumb stays thumbs up for cutting. And we always wanna try to cut away from the body. Now I expect that your child is going to need a little bit of help with this at home, but that's okay. It's just great practice. Opening and
close.
Open and closed, or open and cut. Okay, so let's start. Okay, can you use your helper hand? Holds the paper. Yep, nice. Open it, cut. Good. And we try, for students who have more practice cutting, we try to cut on the
line.
Good. And when we get to a corner, we stop. We're going to stop and turn paper. We turn the paper so that we're always still cutting away from our body. Okay, helper hand holds. Good. Open and step. Turn paper. Good. Open and cut. Yay! Nice job. Oh, there's that nice flower. I really like it.
Good.
You, of course, can use a different design if you want for your flower. Or if you decide not to use the bubble painting paper, you can just use construction paper or any paper that you have at home from a catalog. It could be old wrapping paper, whatever you've got. So now we have the flower, but what else do we need, friends?
And a fish that lives on it.
That's right. So I think you might be thinking of the flowers
That's green.
stem, right? Stem. And so you're right, the stem is the grown-up. I'm actually just going to take about half of the paper because it's less paper to manage, and so it's a little bit easier. So for the flower stem, we're going to draw a big line down.
I can draw a big one.
You can draw a big line down. Well, I'm very glad to hear that. It's just looking for something. So as the grown-up, I'm going to make a nice starting dot and a little line for my friend here to trace. Where do we start our line? At the
Top.
At the top, yeah. So I'll show you what I did. I made a light line there for Grayson to trace. Okay. And again, trimming my crayon, pinching fingers. Oops, can you pick that up, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. So when Grayson is holding the crayon, when your child's holding the crayon, we're cueing them to use pinching fingers, trying to get those fingertips and thumb on the crayon. Okay, sitting up, nice and tall, and helper hand holds the paper. Good. Pinching fingers. Nice. Oh, hello. Thank you. Boom. At the top, big line down. Nice job. Let's do it one more time. Boom. Big line down. I like it. Thank you. So we made a big line down. Now we are going to cut on the
Line.
yes. So let's try that. Thumb stays up. And when we're cutting, we try if we can to give kind of that extra room for the helper hand to hold. So if I'm cutting here, I've got a lot of nice room on this side to hold the paper. Good. Take your time. Cut on the thank you. Oh, nice job. This is the stem of the flower, right? So we have our flower and we have our stem. We need one more thing for this flower. What do you think it is?
A leaf.
Oh, I agree. Do you agree? Okay. All right, so we are ready to try to make our leaf. So as the grown-up, I'm gonna try to form a shape on here using a nice dot, and I'll show you. Oh, I see 1, 2,
What's that?
3 sides. I wonder what shape that will be.
I don't know.
We don't know. We'll have to see, right?
You tell me what it is when I'm here.
Okay, or you can maybe help me. So first we're going to trace, right, with pinching fingers. We're going to start at the top. Down. Helper hand holds your paper. Good. Start at the top. Down. Nice job. So we traced our shape. Now let's cut it out. So for this, we are just cutting 2 lines, trying to get to that dot because that's where our corner is. Oh, we have safe scissors, right? Yeah, we always want to try to make sure we're using quiet hands. When scissors are around. Okay, thumb points up. Thumb is up and helper hand holds the paper. Yeah, so let's start here. And when you get to the dot, you have to stop. Stop. Good, and turn paper. Nice. Open and cut. Open and cut. Good job. Thank you. Okay, friends, I see 1, 2, 3 sides. Do you see 3 sides? Yeah. Yeah. What shape is this?
Triangle.
A triangle. Very good. So this is our triangle, and that's going to be our leaf. Right? Okay. So we are almost finished. I'm just going to take 1 more paper now. You could use blank paper, or actually I've got some fun construction paper, so let's do that. And I think I'm going to put it right up here. Maybe you can help me. This will be a little easier to see.
Sure I can.
Sure you can? Oh, thank you.
And
I'm just putting it on the wall just so it's a little bit easier to see here.
Is that the back?
Yeah, we're going to be working on the front. Okay, so first we want to put some glue on for our stem. Okay, so where would that glue go? I think it would go here. And so here, I'm not sure how well you can see that, but I'm taking a marker and I'm drawing where I think the glue should go. This is a nice visual cue to help your child see where the glue should go. Okay, can you open the glue stick, please? Oh, thank you. And we're trying to use 2 hands. Good, can you turn it up? Good, and of course, if anyone needs a little help with that, good, glue all the way down. Nice, can you do a little more? Thank you. I like how you started at the top and you put glue all the way down. Okay, what goes on there?
The stem.
The stem, yeah. Put on, and what do we need to do? Push down, push down. Nice job. I think we probably should have put a little bit more glue up here at the top. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit extra. Can you push down? Good, thank you. What else do we need to put on there?
The stem.
The stem is
Finished.
so now it's time for the, what's that?
The leaf.
The leaf. Very good. So once again, I'm going to help kind of point where maybe we should put some glue by using a marker. You can always, or crayon, you can just point to, but this is a nice way. Or if your child, your student is putting glue on the back of the cutout, that's fine too. Yep, keep going. Not too hard, right? You don't push down too hard. I think this is an old glue stick. Okay, thank you. Good. Where does it go? Match it up with here. There, push down. Nice job. Thank you. And what's last? What is that? Is that
Flower.
that's the flower? Good job. Okay, so you can put, where do you think it's gonna go? At the
Top.
At the top. Are you gonna put glue on here or on here? And there, okay, go ahead.
Sometimes I like to do it like this.
Okay. And so sometimes friends like to push really hard on the glue stick, and so we just try to teach to be gentle with that. Just so we don't, yep, maybe a little bit more. Good, a little bit more. Thank you. Okay. Oh, you might need 2 hands. 2 hands. Always trying to use 2 hands whenever we can. Right? There you go. Good job. Very nice. Thank you. Time to clean up. And so here's our bubble painting flower. Our flower has 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And our stem is a nice rectangle, and our leaf is a triangle. So I hope you have fun trying this this flower this week. Of course, you can always use the bubble paper, or you can use any other kind of paper that you might have on hand to try this out. Thank you so much for joining me and for letting my son Grayson join us today. Can you say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Hope you take care and have a great week. Thank you.